silent, singing bleak because I la 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 la. You can hear when it's back in the streets after dark, singing la 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 la. So here I am, alone again, at the beginning, a touch of an end, breathing in, I'm breathing out, a simple sound, I start to shout, it goes la 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 la. Cavern Killer sees through your lies. Cavern Killer feels my pain. Cavern Killer is out to me. Cavern Killer dressed in black. Cavern Killer but I'm not in your back. The Japanese queen. Cavern Killer gonna hear you scream. Cavern Killer familiar change. Cavern Killer bringing you pain. Cavern Killer sessions and cuts. Cavern Killer gonna shut you up. Cavern Killer broken dagger. Cavern Killer uses swagger. Say I'm to blame for acting strange. People run when they hear my name. Yeah, it's coming. Don't shed tears. Culmination of your greatest fears.
But tonight, live in Salford.
Back to the here and now. We got Hot Face live in session. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, very good.
Yeah,
good.
Great. So happy to be here, man.
We are so happy to have you here and so curious to learn more about your story because I feel like you guys just exploded out of nowhere via Abbey Road, which we'll get to. How did you get together and start playing music together, first of all?
Yeah, so we came together, 2022?
Yeah.
We met in the basement of a pub in Croydon.
Which pub? This is crucial.
Crow Arms. Shout
Okay.
out the Crow Arms. Yeah, like just after lockdown, they were doing like jam nights in the basement. And that's when me, George, and Sam all met. Me and George had already been acquaintances for a few years.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, after that, we spent a long time making music in Sam's garage. And then, yeah, it's kind of just built up from there, really.
It is.
How did you decide, when you came together, what were the kind of influences that you all agreed on? Or are you bringing kind of different perspectives, the three of you?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I don't think there was any influences as such. It was like, yeah, like you're saying, everyone was bringing their own music collections with them.
Yeah, it was quite funny. We didn't really have a conversation about influences before we got in a room. So what sort of ended up happening sort of just became the sound. It wasn't
cool.
like we sort of pre-agreed what was going to go down. And I think, James and George had played together in a project prior to me meeting them, and there was a slightly different vibe. And then I guess the three of us coming together sort of changed it a little bit. So
Yeah. It locked in. We should backtrack, actually. I should get you to introduce yourselves, if you wouldn't mind doing that.
They've already played them.
Who's going to go? Okay, yeah, I'm James. Hello. This is my voice.
What do you play, James?
I play guitar and I sing.
What a pro.
I'm George and I play bass.
And I'm Sam and I play drums.
I should have done that at the beginning. Sorry. I made things awkward for
We
you.
are live. Speaking of the debut album, Automated Response came out in Jan this year. And let's be honest, what a way to record a debut release, let's be honest,
Yeah.
I mean, you've gone from, recording, I guess, essentially in your bedrooms
Yeah,
to
pretty
then
much.
recording at Abbey Road. But
Yeah.
how does that feel? Can you put that into words?
It's pretty mad, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
still feel like going to wake up.
Yeah. Especially Studio 3, like you look at all the things that have been done in that room, and it just the whole studio in general, and our minds were pretty blown,
Yeah.
being there.
Yeah.
I mean, Studio 3, what? So, Pink
Dark
Floyd,
Side of the Moon.
Dark Side of the Moon.
Yeah.
Some Beatles stuff
Beatles
happened there.
What was it, like Revolver recorded in there?
Bit of
I think
Revolver.
Revolver,
Yeah.
I think a bit of the Abbey Road album.
Yeah.
Piper at the Gates of Dawn, which is a big one for me and George. Cause
Yeah.
Amy Winehouse.
Yeah.
In Studio 3.
We
Yeah.
were looking at who last recorded a record live in there, and it was Fela Kuti in '71. So yeah, that was a bit of a
Insane.
moment as well.
So how did it come about? Because I feel like we've kind of shared little snippets of the story when we've been playing tracks from the album on the show. But can you tell us in your words how you came to record the album in Abbey Road?
Yeah, I mean, Dan first saw us. This is Dan Carey, who amazing producer, amazing guy all around. Saw us play a show at the Windmill when I think it was our third ever show, and then he's sort of been in our corner ever since. And we sort of spoke about making a record in really rapid time. But then, yeah, it took a little while for us to sort of like align on when and exactly how. But it sort of stemmed from playing a festival with Dan's band as well. And I think that sort of reminded him of how he wanted to do it. And then Abbey Road gave him a call, I think, probably a couple of weeks after that, and just said, we've got the room. If you want to use it for whatever you want, just let us know.
We're looking for a hot new band. Do you know anyone?
Originally, like they asked him, like, do you want it? Because you know that Speedy Wonderground do this like single thing. So bands come in with him and do a single, and then he was like, well, I've got a band that can do an album.
Hey.
So
Amazing.
yeah, just
Yeah,
kinda
so he
followed
called
on
us, I
from
think,
there.
around midnight on a Friday night, and we just played a show. And yeah, we could barely sort of hear him talk. He's sort of shouting down the phone, just like, right, do you want to record the album next week? And we were like, next week? He's like, yeah, Abbey Road. He's like, what? What do you mean?
That's insane. And with the actual, obviously the recording process is one thing, but did you go in knowing the songs that you were going to record? Because it's a 10-track, what is it, 24 minutes?
Yeah.
The album?
Yeah, we spent a week just like rehearsing and refining what it was going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would have been maybe a bit too crazy. To
Yeah, that
rock
would
up
be-
and like, "This is what we need today."
Let's find out.
Yeah.
So you obviously had these songs then percolating. What was your plan had this opportunity not come up? Would you just kept playing live? And
It's funny because we always playing live, but I guess around the time we were planning on recording some more music, and we didn't really have enough money, so we were like, we'll just do like a 3-4 track EP. Lo and behold,
Fate stepped in.
Yeah.
I'm curious about, because you mentioned the dance hall you played, the Windmill in Brixton, which is obviously, synonymous with the particular scene happening in London. It's kind of a breeding ground for great bands. Are you very much bedded into that Windmill scene, would you say?
Okay, yeah, we've kind of been on the fringes of it. I mean, we kind of struggled to find our place for a while, I don't think we really fitted into a lot of that, a lot of that stuff. So yeah, we've just been trying to carve out our own sort of path,
Yeah.
It's nice to find your place at Abbey Road, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And now the studio's in Salford for Six Music.
yeah.
So should we get into this session, Hot Face,
Sounds good.
live on New Music Picks Daily?
It's going to get loud. Watch out for your ears. We are back in the live room with tonight's session guests, Hot Face. So tell us, guys, could you just talk to us a bit about the album, sort of like the themes and the lyrics behind it?
I guess that's my job. Yeah, I don't know. It's a bit of a without trying to sound completely pretentious, it's a bit of a like Dadaist tapestry of just like, I guess kind of like realization on self-destruction, on like situations turning bad, maybe like being vacant in situations where you need to be there.
That's really interesting, though, because do you feel like that sort of like represents recording an album in one day, in one take at Abbey Road?
Well, I hadn't think about that, but maybe, yeah. I don't know. It's a weird one. Lyrics with our songs kind of, I don't know what they mean half the time, and then one day we'll play it and I'll go, that's what that one's about. But I mean, we've got songs about werewolves and Cavern Killers, whatever that might be, and then simple songs like I Love You and Sinis, which
we've been pronouncing wrong
wrong this whole time.
yeah,
That's
it's
fine.
been really
Thank you for
entertaining
that.
hearing you guys doing it.
Thanks so much for leaving us to
I did
it.
question that, though, didn't I? I was
you
like,
did.
are we sure we're pronouncing this right?
And just I pulled rank and I was like,
Yeah.
I'm sure it's sins. Anyway, whatever. Now we know. When you're writing songs, I guess you guys play live so much, that must inform the writing of your music
Yeah.
a lot, because it's about that energy, right?
Yeah.
We rehearse a lot, and so I think the writing process often just naturally stems from being in a room together in rehearsals.
Yeah.
And actually maybe that's also part of the reason why some of the lyrics are kind of a bit of a spur of the moment thing as well.
Yeah.
So you're sort of just feeling an energy at the time, and then you're channeling that into what you're making and what you're writing.
Yeah.
So sort of makes sense that we did record the first record in the way that we did, because I think the songwriting sort of also lent into that immediacy as well, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it must be strange, like the idea of these songs kind of taking shape while you're playing live. And now I know it's a live album, obviously, but or it was recorded live, but like the idea of people listening in their headphones on the bus and stuff like that must feel quite strange.
Yeah, but I think that was sort of the intention from Dan as well, was to sort of bring that live energy to people's headphones. And even at the end of the record, there's a little gap because there was actually 20 people in the room watching us play like it was a show. So there's a little gap where they're waiting to make sure that we've actually finished recording, and then they start applauding.
Nice.
And that's always a nice moment, even for us now, having listened to it a bunch of times, just to sort of hear that response in the actual in the moment.
Because that's on I Love You, right? The last track on the album.
Yeah.
And so the bit with the 20 people in the room to applaud you at the end, was that one of the 3 takes of the album that you did?
That was just the last one. So the whole album is essentially the last take of the day, which was done in front of an audience. So it's just one.
And
Amazing.
it was very funny just watching people sort of like silently mosh and like applaud in between, because they couldn't make any noise when we were actually tracking. So I don't think I'll ever see that again, just sort of people like wildly waving their hands around but making zero sound as well.
How did you collect 20 people who were so self-disciplined that they were able to behave themselves?
I think
some stern words from Dan, I reckon.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
That's probably what it took, yeah.
Cracking the whip.
Yeah, no doubt.
Was this process sort of liberating to you guys as musicians? Because you've done it and you're like, right, we can play an album in one take. Are you ever going to do it again, is what I'm going to ask.
Never say never, right?
Yeah.
No, I mean, it was liberating. It was cool to know that we can go to the hallowed ground that is Abbey Road, rock up, and in a day like churn out a pretty good album.
I mean, that's, you know, it's
If I may
like
say so.
the Beatles, Please Please Me. That was you've beaten them. They did that in 12 hours, right? And you guys did Automated
10
Response.
times that.
Yeah, put that on a plaque somewhere in Abbey Road, in Studio 3. What's coming next? Obviously, you've got The Great Escape in May in Brighton, which is big. But what else is on the horizon for you guys?
Gig-wise, I've got my little notes down here. 5th of March, we're playing the Prince Albert in Brighton with our good friends Aura Habit. That's going to be really fun. And then we're playing actually in Big Hands up in Manchester, up here.
Sick venue.
On the 14th.
Yeah. I mean,
Amazing.
I bet you can play this album backwards, right? So, how does it feel?
Maybe that could be album.
Maybe that's the next one. But, like, how does it feel to play this live? You know, like, because you must know it so well now.
Yeah, well, we've started to add in a lot of our newer songs into the mix, just to keep it interesting for our sake.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, definitely added a lot more spice into.
Yeah, I think, dare I say, the older songs feel like a bit like a automated response.
Perfect.
He said the line. He said the line.
Money shot.
And when are we going to hear those like new songs recorded? What is the plan as far as music goes?
Hopefully, well, I don't want to jinx it, but hopefully later this year.
End of this year, beginning of next year is the plan. We've actually gone into a studio and demoed them already. So yeah, kind of ready to roll whenever sort of, you know, we're ready to sort of
nice
record it for real and get it.
Are we gonna take our time with this one? Are we gonna chill out a bit?
Might give ourselves a couple days.
Nice.
Yeah, I was gonna say no.
Good, keep that momentum going. We love it. All right, let's get into part 2. Hot Face live in session.
That's it.
Woo!
Oh, that was amazing.
Hot Face live in session. That was wicked. Automated Response is out now. There's also like a short film to the recording of the album as well, isn't there?
Little doco on YouTube.
Yeah, it's really cool. I recommend to go and watch. But for now, thank you. That was absolutely incredible.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for having
Cheers,
us.
guys.
Yeah, cheers for supporting the music up.